Hold on. All right, kids, we are live with the James Lugo show. How y'all doing today? I was just telling our guest that I haven't done the show in about a month because it's been really hectic. We've been kind of remodeling the studio, my recording studio, and just life. I traveled. I was in LA for about a month, on and off, doing vocal seminars and teaching and doing, talent contests and all this stuff. So, but now I'm back and I'm kind of back on track, and which is kind of what leads up to this whole show. So, you guys are in for a treat today. I'm not kidding you. Let me set up the bar here so I can see Messenger. Hold on one second. Let me play this. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so messengers. Oh, wait, we're already getting messages. Jennifer Duncan, looking forward to hearing you, Michelle. Don't say anything. Empire Nutrition. Hey, Jennifer. Okay, so I am like a fan of bodybuilding and, just into Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lee Haney and back in the day in the 80s and the 70s guys. And then I got really into Ronnie Coleman, and I got his video, the Redemption, all the, yeah, buddy, nothing but a peanut. Anyway, but I end up like in my nutcaseness, I go to his gym that he works out at in Arlington, Texas. I become friends with the owner, Brian, and I end up going to the gym, and I spend like a week there, and I don't know, I just wanted to do it. I'd been watching the videos, and I just wanted to have fun, and I went there. Anyway, Brian, when I get there, there's a girl that's kind of hanging out. I don't know if she worked there or a trainer. I don't really know what her capacity was, which we'll get into, but she was affiliated with the gym somehow. I think he kind of was like, hey, show James a good time. And her and her friend, Gloria, took me out, and we hung out, and we went, and did a bunch of stuff. We hung and worked out and all stuff. Anyway, she's super cool. And she's a great trainer. She's out in Texas, and she owns a couple of gyms, and she is into it. And, for years we kind of had lost contact, but then, you get on Facebook, and now you have all these friends that you used to be friends with. So anyway, she's awesome. The concept of the show is about getting started in the gym, getting out of ruts. I've been in a little bit of a rut, but I'm out of it now, officially out of it now. But it's been a challenge. So and also like post losing 100 pounds, losing 100 pounds is huge, literally huge, like that much fat. But anyway, that's what we're going to talk about. But my guest is so awesome. She's the real deal. She's really into it. She's been around and trained around, Ronnie Coleman and all those people, Branch Warren. I mean, the top bodybuilders on the planet live out there. It's just fertile ground for buffness. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I give you my friend, Michelle Davis.
That was a great introduction, James.
Yeah.
I have not seen you.
Now you got to be good.
Oh my God. I haven't seen you in person in like, oh my gosh, 15 years, maybe a little bit less than that. But I want to start with this. I want you to notice my 80s rocker hair, because I did this just for you, this big hair. And also my 80 rockers watch and my ring, my cross ring, because I wanted to be cool like the cool kids that are logging in. Hopefully we'll get a few fitness people logged in. But I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I love fitness. I love talking about fitness. And I apologize if there's some talking and some phones ringing. We're at the gym, so we're banging weights here. So I'm glad to be here.
I mean, could it be a better place than the gym? All right, so we've already got a couple of people. Your friend, Jennifer Duncan, says, looking forward to hearing Michelle. Then Empire Nutrition says, hey, Jennifer. Then Jennifer says, hey, Hunter. And then Jennifer says this. So anyway, I don't know who those people are. I know who Empire Fitness is, I think. But anyway, so here we go. So let's just start with where are you at? You just bought a gym. You bought a couple of gyms. You're in Texas. What do you do? What's the day in the life of Michelle?
Okay, so I'm going to back you up a little bit because I would like to say how I got into fitness because I think it's really important to help people when we talk about motivation. So I was always an athlete. I played sports in school. And if you can't hear me or there's any problem, let me know. Went in the military, got out of the military, was in an aviation company. I had 2 small children at home, and my husband passed away unexpectedly. So it was a giant shocker to me. And as you can imagine, I was in I wouldn't call myself a depressed person, but I was really, really going in a bad way. Well, I wouldn't cry in front of my kids, but I would drive around the neighborhood and cry. But I thought, this isn't going to work. We have a little gym in our neighborhood, and I pulled in there and I got a membership, and the man that owned it, named Oscar, a great man. He was a gold medalist in shot putting. I got on the treadmill and ran with my eyes bawling, just cried and cried and cried. But when I went home, I felt great. And I realized I'm onto something here with fitness. It really helped me in a state when I really needed it. So I became a trainer, started training people. I was good at it. I'd always been a coach. I'd coached boys sports. I bet you didn't know that. I coached boys sports. And I became a trainer. And I realized I'm good at this. So I went from a trainer to being a manager to a general manager to one day I said, I'm going to own this place. I'm going to own these places. I'm not going to own one place. I'm going to own several places. And that's what I did. So now I get to wake up every day and come here. It's great. I love it. So a day in the life is I usually get up real early, come here, we open, I go home, I sleep a little bit, then I come back, and I'm here all day. And I get to talk to people on a regular basis about motivation, goals. What do they need to do? What can't they do? Why aren't they coming? Why have they quit? And so those are all things that we deal with on a daily basis. I'm around a lot of different type people, James, bodybuilders, fitness people, overweight people, people that never have worked out before. And it's a real interesting life. So I'm very blessed, and I'm happy that I'm here. So maybe I could answer some questions and help with your group and your followers to maybe make their experience a little better and help them in their fitness journey.
Awesome. And so if you go, first of all, if you're watching this, subscribe, like, there's a message thing, a live chat. If you ask questions, we can answer them. And then in the description has all the links for me, and I've got the link for Michelle. Where are you in Texas, and what's the name of your gyms?
Okay, so I'm in Crowley. I have one location in Crowley that's south of Fort Worth, probably about 10 minutes from Fort Worth, 20 minutes from Fort Worth, and it's probably about 30 or 40 minutes from where you were at the Metroflex gym in Arlington. And then I have a Burleson location, which is only about 2.9 miles away from the Crowley location. So they're really close to each other. So I can just bounce back and forth. And really beautiful out here, South Texas. It's very friendly. And we have a homey atmosphere here. So it's a little bit different than some of the bigger corporate gyms. This is our family. We call it our fitness family, our Fit Fam. If you see on our hashtags, we always put Fit Family.
What's the name of the gym?
Okay, so we call it iFit Elite, I-FIT Elite, and in those 2 locations.
Right on. Well, that's exciting. All right. Well, then let's dig in, man. So well, you know what? I'll start with kind of telling people where I've been at. As a lot of you know, actually, in about a week and a half, it'll be 2 years since I started my journey to health and weight loss. So a little over 2 years ago, I got really sick. I got pneumonia, and I spent 3 months in bed dying, basically. And I just had this realization that I was going to die. Like, I was going to die, and some other dude was going to raise my kids. And I wasn't down with it. So August 1st, 2015, I started a juice cleanse. I was watching Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and for 2 months, I did an on and off juice cleanse, and I dropped 20 pounds, and all of a sudden I was out of bed, and I was like, oh, okay, this is better. and it's evolved since then. I've gone through, you know, CrossFit and paleo and kickboxing and ketogenic and fasting and, you know, flexible. I've done them all, everything, isogenics and this and that. And I've kind of landed where I've landed. So I guess about 2 months ago, I broke the 100-pound mark, and it was a chat. You know, the last couple of weeks was like, because I think I was gearing, like I was going away for a week or so, and I was like, well, I got to break it before I leave, because I don't want to like be like 98 pounds down and then like be gone and then come back and like have gained 3. I just wanted to be done with it, you know? And it was kind of like my first big goal, and I broke it, and it's weird, you know. I I've I've I haven't until yesterday regained the intensity that I had leading up to that 100-pound since breaking it. I don't know. It was like it took everything to get there, and when I finally got there, I just like keeled over. It was like I was like I finally made it to the, you know, this goal, and so now for me, I'm back. You know, I'm back serious. I'm back working out. I'm back tracking my food. You know, I mean, I kind of do intermittent fasting and flexible dieting and little carb cycling, and that's kind of my jam. But that's kind of where I'm at. So that was kind of the reason why about 4 days ago I asked you, because the day I asked you, I said, "Hey, Michelle, do you want to be on the show?" That was not a good day. You know, I was struggling, and, you know, I don't know, you know, it's, you know, food addiction is a bitch, man. You know, it just is. And, you know, I've healed in a lot of ways, but I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? And it's just, I struggle still sometimes, and it was a struggly day. And that's why I asked you. And then like the next day I couldn't get it together, because I'm like, oh my God, Michelle's going to be on the show. Like, I can't be in this frame of mind. You know, I can't be in this frame of mind when she's on the show. But yesterday I got up and I'm like, that's it. Come on, Lugo. She's going to be on the show, man. Like, you got to get your act together. And I did good. I tracked my food, you know, and I, you know, I was cleaning the house, and, you know, just, I was back in the game of my life. And then today I got up and I worked out, and, you know, I have a gym here at the house, and I worked out with the kids, and I, you know, and I've, you know, I track my food, and I'm doing good. So, I don't know. I just want to tell everybody, because some of the people may been like, oh, where have you been? But that's where I've been, you know, kind of, you know, there's a guy I follow. He's a power lift, like a strength and conditioning guy on YouTube, named Elliot Hulse. He goes, Yo Elliot, you may know him. He's really famous. And he's a really cool guy. He's very deep, and he's very into it. And he took off for about a year, and or so, and he just popped back up like about 2 weeks ago, and he's like, you know, he's like, hey guys, you know, I've been going through a lot of stuff. And he said something in the video that was very powerful to me. And he said, you can always tell when I'm not doing good because I hide. He says, I can't be disingenuous, so I can't get on here and do videos when I'm crazy or when I'm down or, you know, whatever. So I think that's kind of a little bit of me. So I'm making a serious commitment right now to get back on, because we were doing a show kind of a week, and some of them were music shows, but most of them were about health, fitness, working out, you know, fasting, whatever, you know, a lot of weight loss stuff. So I'm recommitting. But anyway, I just want the people that are watching this thing to kind of learn from you, as far as like how you train people. How did you get out of your funk? How did, you know, just what's your deal on health and nutrition, and, you know, how do you work with clients, and, you know, just, you go now.
Okay. Thank you. So I want to say, oh, my heart goes out to you, because when you're going through those funks, everybody feels like you're alone. You feel alone. And I want everyone to know, you and everyone watching, you're not alone. Every single person that has ever lived and tried to do fitness or been active or tried to stay on some regimen goes through periods where they just don't have it in them to do it. So this is totally normal. And what you have to do in those instances is use some key things that can help you. The hard part is a trainer for me, and you can interrupt me anytime if you have a question. I don't see the chats. I just wanted to tell you I've got it pulled up. So if someone's asking
hold on
questions,
1 second, Michelle, because a couple of people are saying that they're having issues viewing it, that it's not working, but I'm watching it here and it's working. So I don't know. It's working on my end. That's all I can say. Jennifer says it's not working for her. And
let me try to log in myself. I'll just do it from my phone here.
No, it could be a little something on their end too, because as I'm looking here, it looks perfect. I look actually perfectly clear. You look a little pixelated, but I can hear you fine. So let me check something here. Here, it looks perfect. Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. So you talk for a second. It's delayed about 10 seconds or something, or 15 seconds. But you should see me nice and clear. I don't know. Well, anyway, we're just going to keep rolling because we can't like reload it, because then it'll, it will lose the whole link.
Right. So I see you clear as a bell. So I'm hopefully, they can hear and see me, and I can hear you on my phone. So I know it's working. So I put the link on the Facebook pages. There's a little link there, and they should just be able to go to Facebook and click on that. I don't know if they can chat from there, but they can definitely
no, they'll link on they'll chat through YouTube. Anyway, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's here for posterity reasons. We'll see. Now it's frozen. Oh, I see what's going on.
Mine's working great.
Now it's frozen here, unless I. Oh no, I'd shut it off. I'd shut it off on my end. No, it's good. All right. Well, you know what, Michelle? Let's just do it, because either way, it could be just some streaming. Sometimes also at night, in certain regions, bandwidth drops at night, so that people it may be on their end. We're good over here. So anyway, Michelle, go on.
All right, James. So hopefully everybody's there. And if you have questions, James, if they have questions and you can type them to me, that would be fine. I will answer those. But one of the things that I want to talk about, because I know there may be some musicians, because you're such a legend in the music world, there's musicians and recording artists and people that are going to be logging in. And some of the things I was thinking about that they may experience, even though they're a little bit different from the average person that doesn't do music, maybe a housewife or whoever, they're the same kind of issues. I was thinking, if they're in bars every night and they're doing long sets, maybe they're in different cities, maybe they're in different towns, maybe they're on a plane in hotels. These are all things that can impede your progress, makes it difficult. And so I thought about what are some things to make you successful. Number one, let's start with, how do I get started when I just can't do it? Where do I go from there? And I thought about some of the positive ways to do that. Number one is getting a partner. That is a big factor in your success. Now, it doesn't have to be somebody that maybe they don't go with you all the time, but they also, maybe they just encourage you. Maybe they go every once in a while, but it helps you to have a partner to keep yourself accountable, and also to motivate each other when the other one doesn't want to go. You talked to me about, what if you don't know where to go? I say the gym to me is like a place that if you're going to go, which, let's be honest, most people don't want to work out. It's not fun. It's hard. And so you have to want to go there. So you have to find a place that you're comfortable with. You feel like it's home. You feel like you can walk in and ask any questions. That's number one. We're real big here on making you feel comfortable. When you come in, we want to talk to you, want you to feel like you can open my door to the owner's office and ask any question you want, because we know that's part of your success. Also, There's so much information out there about fitness. There's magazines, books, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And so you can get totally overwhelmed with the amount of information. So I always say, just keep it simple when you start. Basically, if you show up and you start doing something, then you're making progress. See, I had posted something on my Facebook not too long ago, and it said, even if you're starting off slow, you're still lapping everybody that's sitting on the couch. So the fact that you're there and you're doing a little bit, you're already making progress. And it makes my heart hurt for anybody, James, especially when you're telling me your story, because we've all been there. And it takes you right back to that moment when you went, I'm just out of it. I don't want to go. I'm down. I'm depressed. Maybe some things are in a shambles at home. But I'll tell you that fitness brings out the best endorphins to help you get through those times where you're just having trouble. Fitness memberships now are at an all-time low as far as price, so that shouldn't be an issue for most people. I mean, there's memberships at $10 a month all over the country, so you can get in there and do anything. You'd be surprised to the number of people in the gym that want to talk to you and want to help you, want to answer questions. So make friends. Don't be afraid. Don't think the guy that's the biggest guy is going to be a rude jerk, because that is not always the case. We have some of the best members here that will be proud that you ask them a question and want to answer those questions. But food is a big factor. And so I'm going to stop for a second. Let me see if you have any questions, James, before I go into food and talk a little bit more about motivation. Before I stop that, though, I'm going to tell you one of my motivations, and you're going to laugh. But I used to put pictures of overweight people on my refrigerator, just random people I found in magazines, and or a celebrity maybe they captured that was overweight. And I found that didn't work, because I would look at them and go, well, I look better than them. So it didn't give me any motivation at all. But what I do is take a picture of myself, and I would post that up there. And every time I went to open the refrigerator, I would say, oh no, look at me. And that was my motivation. So it helped me to at least think about what I was eating. It didn't make me go to the gym necessarily, but when I started to put that piece of cake in my mouth, I looked at that picture and thought, oh, I gotta do something. So everybody has to find their motivation. And don't use temporary motivations, although they're great. I'm going to be on stage. I'm going to be playing in front of these people. Maybe I have a wedding to go to or a class reunion. Those are fine, but those temporary, motivations, you don't want to stop fitness. Fitness should be like brushing your teeth. You do it every day. May not be the greatest thing that you enjoy, but you feel good when you're done. Your teeth feel clean, you're fresh, and you don't forget doing it. You always make time to do it. And that's really how fitness should be. You want to keep it lifelong commitment. And it doesn't have to be like a bodybuilder, 3 hours at the gym, 6 days a week. You eat every meal, think about it every day, all day. But you do have to have some level of commitment. And that commitment needs to be, 3 days a week, some kind of cardio. And the food plan needs to be every day. You need to be thinking about that every day. So I have clients that go to a restaurant that haven't trained in 5-6 years, and they say they hear my voice in their head saying, put half that back, or give half that to your neighbor sitting next to you. And they still hear my voice in their head. But those things you should be thinking about ever. So I'm going to go ahead and see if you have any questions for me, James.
All right, hold on. Just, Patsy Kravitz is on here, and Jennifer is on here. Patsy is a friend of mine we've been doing the weight loss thing. I think, she's on your 21-day, she's doing the 21-day transformation you're doing. Can you hear that, Michelle?
Yeah, she is. And she actually is very good about posting. We did this 21-day challenge. I'll talk about it real quick. Most challenges, when you find them, a gym or a trainer does a challenge, it has to do with their facility, and it really and not faulting them. That's the way you make money, but it's for them to get people to sign up and for people to pay them to do this challenge. But I thought, what if we didn't have any money involved? What if we didn't have a location involved? We just said, we're doing a 21-day challenge, and all the challenge is, so I'm challenging everybody now, is you post what you do for that day towards some kind of health and fitness goal. And that could be you ate a healthy meal, you prepared something really great, you did a class, maybe you worked out, and you post that and tag me, Michelle Elaine Davis, on Facebook, and it motivates other people, but it also holds you a little bit accountable. So every day I'm like, where's my post? Hey guys, where's my post? Nobody's exchanging money. There's no winner or loser. We're all winners because we're doing it. And so Patsy's been on there. She's been doing it, and I'm really proud of her for that. Jennifer's been on there. She's been doing it. I'm really proud of her for that. And we have a whole group of people that will log into this later and want to get in on that too. And so it really helps to have that, to say, hey, last night, if you guys looked on my Facebook, you saw me working out with a baby in my arms. And so what it is I have a friend who's really, we call her Mighty Mouse. She's unbelievable. She has 5 babies and 5 kids. And she wanted to come to the gym. She showed up late. She said, hey, I can't work out. I know it's 10. You guys close. I said, the great part about being the owner, Sasha, is I get to keep the doors open. We're working out. She goes, well, I got the baby here. I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to trade him off. You do a set, I hold him. I do a set, you hold him. We're not going to miss our workout, because that's what happens. You miss one day and you make an excuse for the next day and the next day. And you know what? We ended up having a fantastic workout. We posted pictures of the baby and they're rolling all over the place and laughing. And we did our workout. We didn't make an excuse. We did it. And let me tell you, it would have been easy. It was 10:30. I wanted to go home. I'd been here. I got up at 4 and opened, but I said, you know, if I do that, then I'm going to just go into another day of missing and I won't do it. So that's how you stay motivated. You work around those obstacles and you get it done.
Man, this is exactly what I need, man. The good words, good words. Let me ask you this. So take somebody like maybe Patsy Kravitz, who wants to get started with the gym now, and I think she's already lost about 25 pounds, and she's doing great, man. She looks like, I'm not kidding you, she looks 10 years younger in the last 3 months. She's a friend of mine from years ago, and you know, we've kind of been on this journey a little together, but she's doing great. Like, so if somebody's new, they don't really know much about the gym, like what do they do? Like, let's say they want to do three workouts a week, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Do they do full body? Do they Pilates? You tell me what you think.
Okay, great. So this is what I would do. First thing is, obviously, hiring a trainer is going to be the ultimate start for somebody that, you know, is new, or maybe you're not new. Maybe you used to be a crazy workout person, but you got to get back in it and you just don't have your mojo yet. I'm telling you, a trainer is the best way. Training prices are pretty affordable, and you can do it for a short time. So I've worked out so many different deals with people. Train 1 day a week, train 1 day a month, train every other Wednesday, train 3 days a week. Those are all options, because whatever you get, whatever information you get, are going to make you successful. So it's going to head you up toward being successful. But for Patsy and anybody else tuning in, I would say, 1, tour the different gyms and the options in your area. You have to find the one, like I said before, that you're comfortable at, that has equipment, that has weight training is essential. So you do need some form of weight training. Cardio is a little easier to accomplish, because you can do it outside, you can do it at home, you can do it in the gym, and we can do cardio doing plyometrics. My workout partner I talked about the other day, we've started doing yoga at the end of our workout, and let me tell you something, that first night I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was breathing so hard, I about passed out, and I thought, from yoga? So my yoga girlfriend, Jamie, if she's watching, she will laugh because it's very hard. And so there's different ways to accomplish your cardio. But I would go visit a couple different locations close to you. I would talk to the trainers. I would find someone that you're comfortable with, and really just invest a small amount of money to start off with, to have a trainer start you off. The worst part is the first 2 to 4 weeks. So if you can get that help, that paid help during the first 2 to 4 weeks, it really does help you to continue on, because those 2 weeks are where you're sore, where you're miserable, where you hate it, where you're sick to your stomach. And once you get through that, you really start getting motivated yourself, because you start feeling good, you start feeling stronger. You also start feeling like you're looking a little better, you're starting to want to eat better, and you're feeling that commitment. And that's how I would start with that. If you can't afford that, and that is not an option, then go talk to that gym that you're visiting and say, what else do you have? Classes are another great way, because it's usually included in your membership, and also you have a free instructor. They're in the class. They're going to tell you what to do. We have a wonderful lady, Sandy Spence. She just started on this 21-day challenge, and she's going to every class possible at our Burleson location. And because of that, she's really loving it. But she's got that instructor in there. She's making friends with the instructor, and she's really getting that instruction and motivation from the class. Now, she's not paying extra for that. She's paying that as part of her membership. And so it's allowing her to get free personal training. That is always an option too. So I'm going to break for just a second. Let's see if you have anything for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Patsy says, great advice. And Jennifer's on too. Patsy says, I joined one with extended hours, weight training, and more, but I find that I find I am going to want to add in, yes, you read me, the yoga studios, and I want to make it fun. Sometimes some of the trainers are a bit pushy about their number of sessions. So anyway, I think Patsy's joined a gym. She's just getting involved. She's talking about doing yoga. So there you have it.
Okay, and I get that, because they can be pushy. Remember, they're trying to make a living, and so that's how they make their living. But also, we know that if you can do a committed number of sessions a week, and so James, you asked that question, what would be a good workout? I would say it's really hard to get what you need in less than 3 days. A general good rule of thumb for a workout is that you want to concentrate on certain body parts, and those body parts need time to rest in between. So if you're doing a full body weightlifting workout every day, your body is never recovering. And over time, you're going to be exhausted, and you're not going to be able to keep that up for very long, and you're going to want to stop. So we say what's called split training, or body specific, muscle specific. And the way you do that is you would pick a couple body parts to work out each time you go to the gym. And a good rule of thumb is start with something like 3 sets. So if any people don't know what a set is, repetitions is how many times you would do that exercise at one time. So you're going to do 15 of those, and that's considered your set. So you want to do an exercise 3 sets of 12 to 15 at a moderate weight. When I say moderate, they always say in bodybuilding, heavy weight builds big muscles. So you do have to have some resistance on your resistance training. So it can't be light. But let me tell you, if a good rule of thumb, if you get to, you're doing 15 reps, when you get to 11, if it starts to feel heavy and you think you might not be able to do it, then you're at about the right weight. But if you get to 6 and you don't think you're going to finish, the weight's too heavy. If you zoom right through 15, the weight's too light. So that's a good rule of thumb to go by. Breaking up your body parts is essential. So I always say do something like, I'll give you my workout, for example. I'm going to do back and biceps on Monday. Tuesday, I'm going to be doing chest and triceps. Wednesday, I take off. That's my Bible study day. And then Thursday, I'll do legs. And with legs, I don't do calves. So calves are separate, and I keep those on a separate day. So Friday, we do shoulders and calves. Every day you can do abs or your core training, because your body uses your core 24/7, every waking moment, and it's a different muscle type. It works different in a different way. So that you can incorporate every single day. There's a lot of muscles in your core, and if you do different exercises, you're hitting those different muscles. Those are different than your biceps. Say your bicep only has 2 main muscles, where your core has many, and you can hit those in different workouts. So that's why you're able to do more core than anything else. And then your cardio, you want to at least hit some 20 minutes of cardio 3 times a week. And so before anybody blasts me on the YouTube about some of the information, I do want to tell you there's a mountain of information, and there's some advanced things that you can get into later. But today we're just talking about getting started and how to get started. James knows, he's done CrossFit, he's done some more advanced things, he's been in the bodybuilding gym, so he knows it can get pretty extreme. But I'm giving you guys some starting points, and we're going to talk about nutrition in a minute too. Oh, go ahead, James.
That's good. That's great stuff. All right, so Empire Nutrition says, my wife trains with Crystal at iFit, and she loves her. Then he says, Clarissa at Burleson location is also amazing, very nice and caring. I think he's responding to some trainers being pushy. He's saying that there's some nice ones there. Then he says, plus that Hunter guy at Empire Nutrition isn't bad to look at. Not sure what that is. Patsy's blah, blah, blah. She's yes. Okay, Patsy says, here's a question for newbies. Let me just read through these and then we'll can you tell the difference between pain and normal soreness? And you'll be sore at first. Yep. Okay, so how do you tell the difference between, like, if you're hurting yourself or pain and normal soreness?
Oh, that's a great question. So when you first start out, your whole body is going to be sore. Everything you work out is going to be sore. And I'll tell you, there's times where I've had a client that was new, and I worked them on the Monday and the Wednesday and the Friday, different muscle groups, and they were fine. They came in, they said, oh, I'm a little sore. You know, I feel my arms heavier. And then I work calves, and the next day they're telling me they got to go to the emergency room. They think there's something wrong. They can't walk. So it really has a lot to do, one, with you and what you work out, what you do for a living, what your daily procedures are, because your calves may be in great shape because you wear heels every day and you walk up and down stairs, but your arms aren't. So one of the ways to tell whether it's normal soreness or it's something's wrong is if your muscle is constantly feeling, like it's sore. So to touch it, it's sore. To move it, but it's not pinching. It's not pinching or twanging is what they call it. It's not a sharp pain. Then it's normal. If you're working out and you feel a sharpness or a stinging feeling or a pinching feeling, then you're either doing the exercise wrong or something's wrong in there. And so it's a good time to maybe stop and reevaluate what you're doing and the way you're doing it. But if you're just feeling some overall stiffness, it hurts to touch it, you can hardly walk, you're kind of slow, that is pretty normal. And that will get better as you lift heavier and as you progress. It will get to a point where it's hard for you to get sore because your body is becoming so used to the workout. Every once in a while, I'll work something and go, man, I must have really worked it good because I'm actually sore today. I'll also tell you, don't freak and think that your trainer killed you and they don't know what they're doing. If you go to the bathroom and you can't sit on the toilet because your legs hurt so bad, or you go to use your toothbrush and you can't lift your arm to brush your teeth, because in the beginning, those things can possibly happen. Some of the ways to combat that is to really eat healthy prior to. Make sure you're getting a good amount of protein because that is full of what's going to help you recover. And post-workout meals are full of protein. Also, lots of water. And then don't sit home. So when you wake up that next day and you are miserable and you're sore, the worst thing you could do is be inactive the rest of that day. The best thing to do is get up, get moving, get your muscles stretched out, do some massaging on it lightly, get the blood flowing, because the recovery process happens when those nutrients from the blood get to that muscle. And if you're not being active, that recovery process can't happen. So it's really important to keep it moving. If you're so bad that you go, I just don't want to lift today, go walk on the treadmill. Go walk around the gym. Do some bands, some light balls, things to keep your blood flowing. And I promise in a couple days, you'll feel better again. But that is a normal process. And so if you're feeling anything different than the pinching and twinging, that's normal. But if you feel it, it's direct, it's in a certain spot, It's only when you move a certain way, that's not normal. That means that maybe there's a little pull or a little tear. Now, that doesn't mean that something drastically is wrong. It just means that you might have a little bit too much of a tear. You might have maybe did a little bit of something incorrectly, and so you pulled the ligament or something. But you know, usually laying off that just a little bit will help repair that in a couple days, and you should feel better.
All right, we got a couple questions or a couple comments. So Jennifer Duncan says, I have gotten great results with my trainer Crystal. I am stronger and down, stronger, I guess. I am stronger and down 45 pounds since December. I have had an obstacle come up and has caused me to make excuses day after day. Jennifer Duncan again says, I'm so glad you mentioned the classes since my fiance or my finances are not well right now. Empire, blah, blah, blah. Empire Nutrition, Mrs. Jen. Jen says, I'm experiencing pain in my muscles due to me not lifting. And she says, I will be back on track. Empire fasted cardio in the morning is optimal, especially if you take fat burner before and drink some BCAAs. Patsy, which BCAAs do you recommend? So, you know what's funny? You know, my journey has been totally not like the typical, you know, old school recommendation. I've gotten really into a lot of other things with like intermittent fasting. I don't know if you do any of that stuff, but that's been really helpful. You know,
You know, one of the things that I talked to you about was there's so much information out there and a lot of it works. So it's not that intermittent fasting is not good. It doesn't mean that blood type dieting isn't good. It doesn't mean that ketosis dieting isn't good. There's science behind all of these and they do work. But the thing is that's really important to me is one, finding the thing that you can do that you actually enjoy doing and don't mind doing. That's going to make your success. So if I told you do intermittent fasting and you hate it, it's going to be really hard for you to stick with it unless you're some, you know, crazy, you know, OCD person. But see, the thing about James, and I know him a little bit, when he does something, he puts 900% effort into it. So he goes all hardcore. And that's great. But I think what happens to you, James, and this happens to a lot of people that do join a gym and put all their effort in it, is that they push themselves so hard that they do get to a point where they go, you know, I'm done. I just got to take a break. And so that is a time where you go, you know what, I'm going to back off a little bit of being so crazy about it, but I'm not going to stop completely. And I think that's partly where when I've talked to you before, where you get, you know, where you just go put so much into it and then you just go, and then one thing that we know about fitness, once you start missing and you start excusing yourself and you start backing off, one day turns to 2 days, turns to a month, turns to a year, turns to 5 years. And next thing you know, you're wondering, how in the world did I get here? So Jennifer and Patsy, don't let any kind of financial anything stand in your way. Remember this, the person that is going to benefit the most from your fitness and health position, and James, this is important for you, for your kids, are the people that love you. Those are the people that are going to benefit from you feeling good, from you working out, from you being healthy. And yes, we all want to look like gods and goddesses. That's, you know, always there too. But really, the health is the big thing. And once you start backing out, you can turn around and go, how did I get where I'm at now? 100 pounds overweight, 60 pounds overweight. It comes so fast, but it really didn't. It was an inch a day. It was a pound a week. And next thing you know, you're where you are. So what I tell you is, you ladies, get back in the place. There's always something, and something you don't realize, you're not the only one. Post it on Facebook. Say, hey, I need a workout partner. Who wants to go with me? Now, when I post things on Facebook, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I am wonderfully helpful and I love what I do and I want to encourage everybody. But I have a little bit of selfishness. When I post something on Facebook about working out, it is not to pat myself on the back and it's not to get you guys motivated always. It's to get myself motivated. I want somebody to get on there and say what they did or what they accomplished that day to make me want to do it too. And so use that to your advantage. Post on there, hey, I was really thinking about going to the gym, just don't have it in me. I promise you'll get 10 people that post on your personal Facebook that say, girl, get up and do it. Get in there. Don't stop. I've been doing it to James all week, so he knows what I'm talking about. But the classes are a great way, Jennifer, to get in here and start doing those free classes. At Crowley, we have the Fitness on Demand, and what that is you choose the class you want and just go in there and do it. And I'll go, all right, we're going to do some yoga. I'll put it on the screen. And I post it on Facebook because I'm praying somebody else will go with me. I'm praying someone will say, hey, I'll meet you there, Michelle. And that will motivate me to not, because if I walk in there and I'm the only one, I might go, I'm not doing this by myself. I'm out of here. I'm just like you guys. We all, the best trainers in the world. I promise you, I know Ronnie Coleman. I've talked to him many times. I used to work out there with him, in the same room. And he has days where he doesn't want to go. And he suffered several injuries, several surgeries, and he had to really force himself to go, I got to get back in there. He is a 10-time, I believe now, world champion, and he still struggles with it. So don't think you're alone. Count on the people around you to help motivate you. If you don't know anyone in your immediate circle, reach out to people that you know will help you get motivated, because that's the only way. And then when you're ready to go to the extremes, then start researching it and start talking to people, because there is some great super exercise programs out there that will help you. Now you've got my Facebook, so you really have no excuse now. You have at least one person. There's one person that will talk to you anytime, day or night, that's going to tell you get your ass in the gym. But also I wanted to mention Empire Nutrition. If you have nutrition questions, he's on there. He will talk to you. He's got a Facebook, he's got an email, and you can go on there and you can ask him, what should I take before and after? What's protein? And he'll help you get it. And if you're not in the state or you're not close to where he is, he'll ship it. He'll help you. And so use those free resources, because those resources are what's going to help you be successful. I'm going to make James accountable because I want to make myself accountable. So I'm going to be texting him and emailing him and saying, hey, what are you doing? That's what I said the other day when he was at the convention. I could tell you were down. I could see it in your face, and I knew you needed that. So that's why I tagged you in the 21-day challenge. But I'm not the only one out there. There's many, many people. And then I did want to address Patsy and also Jennifer. And Patsy was talking about the trainers being pushy. Shop around, talk to several different people. I promise you're going to meet that one person that just you fall in love with and that helps you through that difficult time. I have clients that I haven't talked to in years, but every once in a while they'll text me and they'll say, man, I got to get back in the gym. I got to get working out. And maybe they moved on to other locations. Maybe they moved on to other types of workouts, but they always know that they can text me and they can say, hey, what do I do? I'm struggling. Because there's people in your circle, there's people on Facebook, and wow, we have no excuse. We're in a social media world. There is all kinds of ways to connect with people in the fitness world, all kinds of ways to connect with each other. And the great thing is I've seen Patsy, Jennifer, those people are on the 21-day challenge, are talking to people from all over. We've got people in other states, New York, that are on there, and they're talking to each other and commenting on each other's stuff. How motivating is that? That's how you do it. And so what do you got, James?
No, that's good stuff, man. I mean, I think going back to the eating thing, I think for me, being morbidly obese, and this is just my experience with it, having been morbidly obese and having like food addictions, I like the normal stuff didn't work for me. It was just the intermittent fasting has really helped, because it's really it's lowered my appetite. It makes because that's what I used to always think. I was like, how am I ever going to lose this weight? Because all I ever want to do is freaking eat, and I don't know. It's been a helpful thing. I don't know. It's worked for me. I mean, But I guess if you want to wrap up with a little bit about nutrition and like what you eat, or what your thing is with all that, go for it.
Okay, absolutely. And I don't want to talk to you about that eating, because let me tell you why we reach for those foods and we can't stop. Because your body is never absolutely fulfilled. So it keeps wanting to eat. You're constantly hungry. That is a sure sign, when you want to reach for those foods, that you're not getting yourself the right nutrition. A diet is not really what we always make it. A diet, the word diet, if you look it up, is just what does your daily food consist of? So I kind of hate when you say, oh, I'm going on a diet, because a diet is what, if you said a dinosaur's diet consists of, that's what you eat on a daily basis. So your diet is what you eat on a daily basis. But when you reach for bad foods, it's always a trigger of something's missing. So remember this. When you reach for certain foods, it's a trigger, something's missing. So when you reach for carbohydrate types food, the bad ones like chips and donuts and things like that, it's because your body is lacking energy. You're craving energy so bad, you don't know what to do. And those foods give you a quick burst of energy, but they're not long-term. So then when it wears off short-term, then you're hungry again. So then you're reaching for another donut and another bag of chips. When you see that you've switched your diet and you're starting to eat foods that actually fulfill those needs, you are not hungry for those other foods anymore. So what it is breaking the craving cycle for the wrong things. And it isn't easy saying it is, but I'm going to give you guys 3 major tips to start with or to live with. And these are so essential to you. 1, you got to cut out the following foods the best you can. They're really hard on your body and they really impede your progress because they give you a false sense of the nutrients you need. One of those is processed sugar. Processed sugar is a demon because it gives you this great feeling of euphoria and this great burst of energy, but then you crash and you're right back to craving that energy. The other thing it does is it messes with your natural sugar levels in your body. And over time, that is where your obesity comes into play. You start to be you start to struggle tremendously with how do I stop this cycle of craving sugar. When you crave sugar, it means your body is starting to become out of whack. Your natural sugar levels are out of whack. And so you crave sugar to try to fix that. Your body is telling you you need it, but you interpret that like I need sugar, I need sweet Coke, I need something with sugar in it. And you're really, all you're doing is messing your body up more and more. Number 2 on that food list is breads. So any type of breads, those things are a killer. And we want to try to cut those out if you can. And then cheese and dairy. So cheese and dairy is a big one. It's so good. I'll tell you how bad they are. I get the caramel latte at Starbucks and I was drinking those 1 a day. I cut those out for 7 days and I lost 10 pounds the first week just from doing that. I wasn't even exercising yet, because of all the milky product in there. So those are the 3 foods. Number 2 on your nutrition, fill your belly with protein. So good, strong proteins like fish, turkey, chicken, beef. Those will help with the nutrient levels that you need. And then you won't be craving potato chips and bad carbs like pasta and things that you shouldn't have. Donuts, cake, ice cream. And then the last one I would say is, and this is number 1, James, and I really want you to hear me on this one because this is one that's going to help you, is plan your meals ahead. I cannot say this enough. If you plan your meals ahead, whether it be preparing them, whether it be writing them out and know what you're going to eat and have them ready, food prep is big now. 15 years ago when I was in the fitness industry, I was the only one doing it my whole town. I don't know anybody that packaged all their foods in containers and had them labeled Monday through Friday and Sunday and Saturday. But Now it's big, and now there's so much information to help you. There's pictures of people food prepping, but that I tell you is going to be number one in your fitness journey. Preparing your foods ahead of time and planning your foods ahead of time. I'll be real honest with you, James. Most people will pick healthy food if it's in front of them over bad food. They did a survey in the New England Journal of Medicine, and it said they did a study, and they used a large number of people, and they said, put these foods in front of you. What did they choose to eat? And almost all the time they pushed away the hamburger and fries, and they chose the chicken and the broccoli and the mashed potatoes. But they wouldn't do it if that food wasn't available. So what we learned from that is, if you know at home you have your chicken already ready, you have your red potatoes or your sweet potatoes ready, you have your broccoli already cooked, all you got to do is put it in the microwave. That's what you're going to eat. You're not going to stop and get a Big Mac because you know you have that food ready. So it is essential. Prepare and plan your foods ahead of time, and then you'll be more successful.
Awesome. All right, Michelle. Well, thank you so much. And
James, thank you so much for having me. I was so excited to be here. I hope we can do this again. And I'm looking forward to getting some of the questions on the channel. Hopefully people will comment on there and ask questions. But I'm here. Look me up, Michelle Wayne Davis on Facebook. I'll answer your questions. I'll get to them. I usually stay up really late answering Messenger because I want you to do well. And then also, James, you stay in contact with me because I want to know how this journey goes, because I think I'm going to go on it with you. I'm going to stay on it with you. I'm going to do this 90-day challenge. We're going to stick to it together, and we're going to see what we can come. And I want to see your workouts. I want to know what you do. And remember, don't get down on yourself if you miss it. Don't get down on yourself if you didn't make it. Make it up the next day. Work harder the next day, eat better the next day. And then the last thing I want to say is, on your cheat day, really work out on your cheat day, and make your cheat day the day you work out. Make your rest day the day that you still diet, because that's always a good way to counteract those excess calories that you ate on that cheat day. Thank you so much for having me, James. It was a blast, and I cannot wait to do this again.
All right, awesome. All right, guys, links are in the description. And thanks so much for being here. And y'all be cool, man. Take care.